thank you for joining me again. I know I missed 2 weeks. It's been kind of crazy these last 2 weeks. Been trying to get a lot of things done. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you enjoyed the holiday weekend. I just wanted to come here and bring the message for the week. Trying to catch up so I don't fall behind again. So the first thing that I got that came out, which is words. We are in Mercury retrograde, and it's definitely showing to watch your words. Be careful of what you say, and not really what you say, but how you say it, because people's perceptions, can be taken a different way. People can take things out of connotation. Also, to making sure that you say the right words to get either understanding or having clarity, whether it be for yourself or for others, whoever it is, whether it's in business, whether it's relationships, any type of general communication. Definitely be mindful of the words that you speak. And words hold power. Of course, we know that they are spells, so be careful what you say, even about yourself, because it can manifest in a certain way, and the negative manifests faster than the positive does. So that's the first thing that they've come out. If you need to go before your spirits, if you service your ancestors, whomever it may be, make sure that you speak clear to them as what you need for them to do in your life right now or even in the future, and make sure that you do give offerings. It could also be too that people are generous enough in this time to bless you with things, and this could be coming from your spirits, that they give you blessings, or it could be even you just going to Starbucks and you wanted to get a cup of coffee, or try to coconut water, whatever it is, and somebody actually blesses you by paying for your drink, paying for a meal, paying for your groceries, something, paying for your gas in this economy. Shoot, that's a blessing. So I do see that, making sure that you again take care of your spirits and whatever it is that you might be trying to manifest in your life, and they could be also in return blessing you with something. I do see to pay attention to certain cycles. So in this time with Mercury retrograde, it's not always about the communications, but it's also a self-reflection. So it's like when it's this time of the year, when Mercury retrograde comes in, and even Jupiter, which is in retrograde as well, we want to look at things because it's about breaking cycles. So if there's certain patterns that have been repetitive, or you've been repeating certain things, been doing things a certain way, and it hasn't been working for you, it's time to change that trajectory of how things have been going and put them into a new direction, so that things will start working in a way that's more conducive to your growth. So this is about really taking the time to pay attention on breaking cycles that need to be broken. If you don't have an understanding, maybe you might need to be in that space to either get a coach, get a guide. There could be a reading, it could be a life coach, it could be therapy, it could be there are many different genres or modalities to therapy. So it might be a certain way that you need to do things, in order to gain that perspective. But spirit can also be giving you the understanding that you need. So maybe you've been praying for understanding, whether it's about a certain situation, a certain person, a certain direction and where you're going, and spirit could be giving you that clarity on what it is that you may need to do. Just know too that your efforts are not gone unnoticed, that spirit is paying attention to what it is that you're doing, the changes that you're making in your life. And if you aren't making those changes, they are also paying attention to that too, which will come out and bring it into the forefront, because this is about breaking cycles yet again. But for those of you who are doing the work and you are making progress, spirit is seeing your efforts. If you've been trying to push your business a lot more, if you've been putting and sowing more into your business so people can see you, and you've been having a hard time on being visible, well, guess what? It's about to turn into that cycle of where things are about to start being seen. You are about to start being shown. Products are start to be sold out. Services are about to start being given. So you will have the clientele that you need. There's an ending that is happening and a new beginning that is also taking place, which is a major transformation that'll put you in the spotlight to be shown in a different light, and to gravitate those people to your business or to your services that you've been trying to promote or you've been trying to push. So don't give up. Keep pushing forward. Keep moving forward so that you can be seen in the light that you need to be seen. What's on the bottom of the deck? Life. which is don't take life for granted. You know, have fun too. It's all about transformations and transitions, and things are about to start picking up and moving fast. If things have been going slow, they're about to start picking up. The momentum is about to start changing, and it's almost like I always say this, like it's like a backdraft when a fire happens, and it sucks all the way back, and it seems like it's taking this precious time, but then boom, everything start bursting out, and it's moving in a way where it's a lot faster than what you thought it was before. So I definitely see that happening. So this is a general reading. Again, of course, take what it is that resonates with you, and whatever doesn't, disregard it. It could be something in the next reading, or you might just need to book a personal reading, whether it be with me or, you know, another guide who will help you. Okay, so let's see what else comes out. What is the general message for the collective spirit? Got two. Let's see, did this come out? You got 3 cards. Whoa. Seven. Let's see, is this 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need one more. I think we got our 7. All right. All right. So what we did get, oh, wait, we might have got more than 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, we got 7. Okay, so the first thing that came out, which is emotional withdrawal. And this is basically about setting yourself apart so that you can be able to get your emotions in balance, so that you can take the time to emotionally intelligently get those things together. You know, ground yourself, take in the moments. If that's going to sit by the water, going to sit under the tree, whatever it is, or however it is that you do to balance out your emotions, this is all about taking that time to deeply reflect, and be able to ground yourself so that your emotions are not all over the place. They're not erratic. You're not coming off maybe too aggressive or overly emotional, which I mean by, you know, crying or taking things out of context and making it more than what it is. And so, or you could also be dealing with someone who might not be feeling the same way that you do, and so they have emotionally detached from you, in a sense, to where it makes you feel like, okay, something's not right. Why is this person pulling back? I always say, look at things from the perspective of spirit does things for a reason, and they do things in a way to make you pay attention to what it is that you might be needing within yourself. But then also too, sometimes it's a blessing, because sometimes people can hold you back, and they can also make you distracted to, you know, to the point where you're not even focused on what it is that you initially wanted to do, whether it's a goal or it was a task that you were supposed to be doing, but you're not paying attention to it anymore. And so sometimes the relationships have to be cut off, and that way you can be able to get your blessings. So pay attention to that. And the reason why I said that is because the material harvest card came out, and this is showing that there is some material wealth that comes in, but first you need to get emotionally balanced in order to receive it. So then that way you're not going emotionally spending, not, you know, being to the point where you know, you might not have had a lot of money before, but now that it's coming in, you overspend because you feel like these are all the things that you needed to get because you didn't have it. It's not about that, because a lot of times we have to be conscious of how, when we get money, you know what I'm saying, that we're not overspending, because you've been in this space before. Again, this goes back to breaking cycles. You've been in this space before where you had money, but you didn't do right. Now, it took you a long time to get this money, and yet again, now you're going back to old habits and not doing right by the money yet again. So let's not repeat cycles. Let's be conscious about what it is that we're doing, even when it's money, because money is an energy, and at the end of the day, if you want more of it, you need to invest properly. You don't want to overextend yourself by giving to other people, or, you know, again, buying excessive purchases, all of those things like that, because all of them matter. They make sense, but you need to make sure you're investing properly and making sure that you're making wise investments when it comes down to the money. Maybe you might need a home, a new car, or something like that. That would be a wise investment. You know, get something that is reliable, but something that is also in your budget to be able to maintain what it is that you need. Again, it comes with balance. Balance came out, and it's funny that we talked about all of those things, and now it's showing up as far as like need and balance. And this is in all aspects, all areas of your life. And for some, it might, you know, be a deal with balance with emotional, because the heart chakra card did come up. Matter of fact, we have 2 cards that deal with the emotions about things. And so it could be grieving a loss of someone, a loss of something. And so that needs to be balanced out. But then also with the sacral chakra card coming out, this is where the emotions sit at. And so we need to make sure that we're honoring the spaces that we are in to be able to heal those things and be able to move forward, so that we can consciously think from a space where we're not overly emotional and making unreliable decisions, or having selfless acts that could cause us some disruption in our life. So Spirit is definitely saying, you know, make sure that you look at things from a greater perspective. You know, it's not for you to be all in your head about it, but also write it out. Why is it that we're doing things in this way? Or why is it that we do things this way? What needs to change? And so you can also be able to see it from a different space. But then you also need to be able to listen to your intuition. The intuition card is here. Is for some, you could be, you know what I'm saying, like it could be that it's convoluted, and because everything is off balance, your intuition is off. You're not thinking from the space of logic, and you're not thinking from the space of where it's balanced with spirit, and you're getting the mixed messages on exactly what it is that you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to go about doing things. Or if you're not seeing things clearly, feeling things, or hearing things clearly, it's because there's an unbalanced energy there. The number 2 is here, which is also about balance yet again. 2s is 2. I see 2 again. 4, this is the value of 2. We have 11, which also makes 2. So everything here, 8, which is also increments of 2, which is also about balance. Everything here is about balance. And so 6 here is about changes. 9 is the ending of something to the beginning of something, because after 9 we go 10, which it goes back to 1. And so it's showing that in the end there is harmony, there is balance that does come in. So whether this is about relationship, whether this is about business partnerships, whether this is about your personal relationship to deal with money, whether this is about, you know, relationships in regards to school, not just financial management, but even for personal self-growth, there is this thing that harmony does come in, which means that you do find a way to balance yourself out, and things do become correct and in alignment to where you're supposed to be. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. The waiting game. So which means a period, and again, I just said this, a period of loss. That's at the bottom of the deck, as well as behind the waiting game card, which means you've been waiting a long period of time. But if you even look inside the lamp here in the hourglass, there's a tree that's growing. So something that's small that internally, it's inside, internally it starts to grow, and it starts to, so the more that you nourish yourself, the more that you feed yourself, it begins to grow. And once it takes life, because you have put these new roots in, now it can fully grow. And that's you letting go of all the heartache, all the loss that you have dealt with. You can't take the old and begin the new if you have not released it, in a sense that's going to serve you in a greater purpose for your growth. All right, I hope this helps you. Thank you for tuning in. Please follow me on all my social media platforms. Lotus Mystic Haven on TikTok, Lotus Mystic Haven on IG, Lotus Mystic Haven on Facebook. You can find me there. And if you want to book, you can book me at www.lotusmhaven.co. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful rest of your day.